Hello, this is Matthew Perosi with the Jeweler Website Advisory Group, coming to you from Nice, France, where I have been walking around and enjoying the sights and the culture all day long. And every once in a while I stop and I'm answering questions that have come in from my Facebook friends and fan page. The topics I'm covering today are SEO and online marketing for jewelry stores. I have a question here that comes from Paul Brockhorst from Blanchard, Oklahoma in the United States. He says, I'm always looking for inexpensive ways to advertise. It's so easy to spend a lot of money on advertising and most of it does not seem to work. Any ideas? Okay, Paul. When I do advertising or manage advertising for people, I try to measure all the results of the advertising. And these results, you should be able to measure them immediately if you set up your online campaigns correctly. When something doesn't work the first time, I always suggest to just throw it out and start over. You have to at least make back the money you put into it. So if you spent $1,000 on an ad, you have to at least have enough of sales to cover the $1,000 for that ad. If you don't, then the ad is a failure and you start over. But if you at least cover the cost of the ad, then what you can do is tweak the ad technique slightly, try it again, see if your results get better or get worse. I learned that trick or that technique, I should say, from one of my mentors, Ted Nicholas. Okay, some inexpensive ad ideas. Here's what I know for sure. It's easy to lose a ton of money with Google AdWords when you haphazardly set up a campaign with their pay-per-click system. You really do need to sit down and spend a minimum of 6 hours. If you're not spending 6 hours doing it, then you're probably not doing it correctly, because that's how long it takes me to set up a basic campaign. But you really have to spend that time to craft about 200 different ads with targeted keyword choices, with placements, and the times of day that these ads are going to appear. You also need to heavily use the different types of matches, like broad match, exact match, phrase match, and you need to heavily use negative keywords to filter so you don't get a lot of bad clicks that come through. This process of the different types of matches, using negative matches, some old-timers in the industry will call it embedded matching. So I've done a lot of types of this setup for jewelry stores. And even in the fall of 2009, I was doing some direct training with a few jewelry stores and had a number of online conferences as well as in-person conferences. So if you do set up your PPC campaigns that way, you could spend as little as $100 a month on the clicks, rather than spending $1,000 with AdWords. You could spend as little as $100. Now, the approach is all based on choosing your targeted audience wisely, and the number of times that your ad is going to show is going to be a lot lower than if you were to just haphazardly put your campaign together and hope for some clicks and hope for some sales. But fewer number of clicks, fewer number of views usually means a higher return on investment, much higher than what you would get if you just, like I said, the haphazard approach. All right, whew, that took a while. The next idea you could have is, Paul, you should also take advantage of the new digital advertising mediums. This year I'm trying to get a lot of customers involved with Foursquare. Now, Foursquare is a system that you have on a lot of iPhones and also on Blackberries. So I have Foursquare here, and as I walk around town, I've been checking in at different locations. And you can set up an advertising campaign on Foursquare for free. You just have to go in and manage your account. Now, according to In-Store Magazine's big survey, which was published in October of 2010, at least 66% of all jewelry stores are located in a mall or in a downtown street. Now, that means there are other stores around. That means that there are going to be technology junkies who are going to those other stores, and those people are going to be walking around with their iPhones or their Blackberries, and they're going to be checking in on Foursquare. And every time they check in on Foursquare, if you have an ad put on Foursquare, those people around you could see your ad. It'll pop up right on their phone. So that is another free system you can take advantage of. And speaking of cell phones, here's another idea. Not all advertisers that are doing PPC, pay-per-click with Google AdWords, are paying to get into the ads for cell phones. So there are at least 50 million users out there who are using cell phones, and if you wanted to if you wanted to tap into that market through the Google on cell phones, you could certainly activate your AdWords campaign to work on cell phones as well. A well-crafted mobile ad will actually have lower cost than a standard PC ad because you do have fewer people using it, and users do have to be really around your local area. Okay, one final idea is to post mentions of special offers on your Facebook wall. But you have to be extremely careful on how you do this, is not to violate Facebook's terms. They will summarily delete your account if you violate their terms. If you run a contest online, announce it on Facebook, but put a link to your website, and on your website is where you should be holding the contest. On your website, ask the people to opt into a form so you can collect their email addresses before they enter the contest. Then once you have them opted into your email list, then you can send them an email. Now during the holiday season, the best times for emails are Mondays between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. or on Mondays also at between 12:30 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. All right, Paul, I hope that those 4 ideas can get you started. Whenever we prove or disprove the validity of new advertising techniques, we usually do post them on our own website, jwag.biz. That's www.jwag.biz. And we also send them out in our daily golden nuggets that we send out to all of our subscribers. So, Paul, thank you for the question. Hopefully those answers will help you out and others that are watching. You can find out more about the Jeweler Website Advisory Group, as I said, on our website. This is Matthew Perosi. I'll see you next time.